Hey, good evening. Good evening. How are you all doing? I trust you had a good Christmas and New Year season. I was off for 2 weeks and just started back to work today. We were having network problems earlier, so my apologies to those of you who came on at that time. So, Reflections for a Thirsty Soul is the book that came out in April, and we've been doing a number of lives on here. And we took a break. We started doing The Beauty of a Woman's Heart, which is the title of my second book, but we started doing some lives on it. But we are on a break until January 4th. Sorry, January 24th. Today is January 4th. So, but the reason why I'm here is I was looking through my book, getting it ready for publishing. And what had happened is I'd sent it for editing. So the person who had done it had suggested that there was this, she saw this title. Let me pull it. She saw this Vision 2020, be intentional. That was my goal for last year, my vision for last year. So she said that I should change it maybe to reflect the current year because 2020 is now past. But I like to deal with history. So I thought, no, hang on, instead of taking it out, write a piece for my vision for 2021. So my vision for 2021 is this: change, pursue it, embrace it. It came into my spirit, and it's funny how you get a word and then everywhere you go, you hear it. So after I picked that, then I kept hearing people talking about change in the different, programs or news, whatever that I was listening to. So I thought I'd come and share my insights because, at the age at which I've reached, it took me a long time to learn some of the things that I've learned. So maybe somebody out there would benefit from the insights that I have. Because I know my dear friend Amajo, she always laughs. We always laugh about how I say in the book that don't waste your life, don't drift through life. I use that term a lot, but if you ask me, what I did 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I couldn't necessarily tell you. Why? Because, the days come one after the other. So, oh, okay, it's a new year. What's the theme for church? Things like that. Whatever plans you have are in your head. You don't really sit to write things down. But then I started to take things more seriously in 2018, 2019, especially. I wrote out my vision board. And I was saying the other day on one of the lives that when I went back at the end of the year and I looked at the goals that I had set, I realized that I had accomplished most of them. I was surprised. So the first one was the book. The book came out in 2020, but the 2019 goal was to push myself and not be so fearful or be timid about it. Just go out and do it. And then also I started a women empowered session on my blog or my page, Beauty of a Woman's Heart. And after I'd gathered all the material for the Reflections book, I started a new devotional called A Little Drop of Pearl, something that I was writing up. The other one was Waters of Refreshing. My website got done, completed, I guess, and then YouTube too. And I visited Montreal, where I was born, for I haven't been there since I came here, and it was overdue. So my daughter dragged me there. And since I've been here, I've gone to Ghana different other times, but I've never gone at Christmas. So last year I did that. But this year life changed. Sorry, last year, 2020, life changed. Since March, I've been home. I keep mentioning this. I've been home working, and now we're in January. So it's almost going to be a year later. So somehow life seemed to have slowed down in a sense because we've made a shift and it took a long time adjusting to that shift. So it's almost like you find yourself in some kind of a slow motion, and if you're not careful, you'll forget yourself or you'll forget things. But towards the end of the year, I said to myself, I need to rethink what I'm doing. What am I doing? Like, okay, I will tell you this. So the title is again today is New Year's resolution. Do we keep them? Let's have a candid chat. And I'd mentioned that last year my goal, my vision was be intentional. I don't know if I was intentional or not, but I got some things done. And so anyway, as I was saying, last year when I did my hello, Amajo. Happy New Year. Did you hear me talking about you and drifting through life? So anyway, at the end of 2020, for me, actually, when it gets to December, especially getting to the end of the month, I get very pensive and I start to think about, okay, what did I do this year? What do I want to be doing next year? And it got me thinking because when I wrote the book, look, I'll tell you what not to do if you want to write a book, okay? Like I said, today is a candid chat. We're going to talk about everything that I think I know because it might benefit a younger person to take action right now instead of later. Not that I regret anything. Sometimes things have to happen at different stages of your life and you need to be comfortable or flow or go with it. Happy New Year message. So as I was saying, I just said I wanted to write a book. That's all I knew. I've been sitting around doing blogs, posting on Facebook, posting in Christian women's blogs, get the book done, get the book done. So what do I know? I knew nothing. All I did was I wanted to write a book. So I went out and found a publisher and then they did the work for me. But of course, they took their money and after they've taken their money, you're on your own. So the marketing side comes. What do I know? Look, if you are writing a book, the hoopla about the book should be starting a year even before it comes out and all and what have you. So if I tell you that the money that I spent from the time of paying for it to get published and all that, going through the edits up to now with all the publicity and that, when I look at my sales page, it does not reflect the money that I've spent. And yeah, you'll say that's a bummer, but what it is for me is that, yes, sometimes, as my son says, Mom, when you write books, your first book is not your bestseller. Maybe later, or maybe it will get discovered later. It's a good book, it's out there. All I know is that I did something I'd set my heart to do. My goal had been accomplished. So I may not be seeing the results now, but I may see them later. So, as a human being, there's always room for hope. And if you don't have hope, oh man, you are done. You are doomed. So that's how I had to start thinking. I thought to myself, hang on a minute. This second book that I'm writing, it was done 2 years ago. It was part of the first book. I found out that it was too big. If I put it all together, it would be too big. So I separated it. So it's just material that's been sitting there ready to go. So if you ask me what I've done, since the book came out in April, I've been focused mainly on the publicity, the Facebook Lives, and what have you. But the core goal or the core passion in my heart of writing seems to have fallen to the roadside. It's gone by the side because I've been so busy. And then now I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to be doing this new book, and then I have to be involved in publicity. And I thought, am I helping myself? Look, I've learned a lot, don't get me wrong. It's always good to know all aspects of a particular area or whatever niche you are in. So I've learned a lot, but I couldn't carry on. I couldn't carry on. And I could say, I'm writing it for you. It's further. Okay. So anyway, I had to rethink and tell myself, what gives me the most joy? What do I want to be doing? Because I have a lot of projects that I've put to the side. So I had to make a decision and say, you know what? Look, if I say I haven't written anything, that is not the that is not the absolute truth. What I'm trying to say is that I have not been writing in any serious or consistent pattern. So sometimes, like I know, what do you call it? Amajo and I, we did a lot of lives on Be Unapologetically You. So I've written two. There's so many, I think I have about 16 topics now, and I've written up two of them. But then I couldn't tell you the last time that I wrote. And then there was a time back where I used to put, I think, I don't remember which month, maybe from September onwards, I used to come and put these quotes. They seem quirky or funny from the Bible. I'll give you an example, like, what was one of them? Joseph ended up in prison because of his rash talk. So, you need to be discerning. You don't go tell your plans to everybody. So when I put it out on Facebook like that, okay, we look at it, we laugh, but it's a book idea. So that one too, I have about 16 of them. And would you believe that I started writing the first one? The first one was having a teachable spirit, because I said that, what was it? It was about Balak and the donkey. If you are so wise and you won't listen to advice, a donkey will be talking to you. So I had written up the story, and then I put at the bottom, this was way back, I don't remember when I did it. I'd written that read Numbers 22 so that you can continue the story and say why you are talking about having a teachable spirit. So today I did that. I said, okay, I have to continue that. So I need to read Numbers 22 this morning. So in my devotion, that's what I did. But when I read it, I realized, no, you have to read 23 and then you have to read 24. So I did those three, but I still need to read 25 because I like to get the whole picture and be able to summarize it properly. The Bible is the Bible. I'm not going to come and talk lies from the Bible. So I need to know what I'm talking about and make sure that it is right. So that is what I did. But back to what I was saying, that I made the decision to not go ahead with the publicity angle of things. And you know what? Sometimes people speak things to us, and when they say it, at first time, it doesn't really sink in. You hear it, it's a good idea. And for me, if somebody's giving me something and it's an awesome idea, I tend to write it. There's a class that I take, and I need to be able to say thank you to this good gentleman. Next time we are in class, I'll have to thank him, because he gave an idea. Like, there was one time the class was happening and the facilitator herself had not been able to be there. So he said, okay, let's chat about, what is it that you are working on that you need help with? And I started talking about my book. And what he had said is that, these days, you don't have to sit and feel you have to do everything regarding a book. You can source it out. Somebody can do parts of it for you and free you up to do other things. I didn't take it seriously, because the reason why I'm talking about all this is, in my heart of hearts, I'm supposed to be a writer. I love writing. And the reason for me starting to write was writing based on the word of God. That's because I said to myself, the Bible was around in the 1930s, 19 Kojohoho, way back. way back. Nanako said, your friend is wishing you a happy new year. Way back, people have died and gone. The Bible is still around. Even those people who discounted the Bible, hey, the Bible is still around. So for me, I said, if I'm writing, to encourage or to bless people, and it's based on the word of God, it will never end, because you can read a scripture today. Tomorrow you read it, it's telling you something different. So there'll always be something to write about. And I felt like I had lost my way. So when he said that, I thought, okay, I wrote it down. It's in this blue book. I buy lots of notebooks. So you see, I said, this is, what do you call it? New Year's resolutions 101. See this pouch here? Ajwa, see this pouch here? It's all the notebooks and all the things that I did for last year. Okay, so when I made that decision that I said, hang on a minute. And then I went back and I was looking through all my work projects that I have. So apart from this book that has to go out this year, God willing, When I wrote out things, I have about 8 different ideas. There's something even that I was scrolling through my Word documents and I found this thing and I'm thinking, what is that? I opened it and I put the outline of everything I wanted to write. And I'm like, okay, how old am I now? I've written my first book and then I'm sitting around. What am I waiting for? I need to do what makes my heart happy, and that is writing, like put it down and bless somebody else with it. So, you know what? After I made that decision, I've been at such peace. I'm so happy. I don't know. It's because it's like, okay, now you have to be conscious. And then now that takes me to some of my show and tell items. You see, we as a before, we don't like to, we laugh at people who are organized or who, let me read your comments and now continue. Be self-awareness of your surroundings, self-work, overcoming things that limit you by acquiring knowledge, taking accountability, accepting mistakes or wrongdoing, challenge yourself by taking risks, stay true no matter the circumstances, be humble, develop effective communication, do more self-care, learn to identify your strength and the strength can be a strong coping skills to start. Thank you. So for me, in all this that I'm talking about, do we make resolutions? Like I showed you in the banner last year, it said be intentional. I'm not going to read all it will be in the book. But then this year, what came in my spirit is change, pursue it, embrace it. And you know what? Change does not have to be something so drastic, because here I am sitting here so focused on working on publicity for my first book. Meanwhile, my actual passion, what I'm supposed to be doing, is laying off here. So when you realize that maybe you focus too much on one thing, you need to change direction, make that change. As a human being, you need to be flexible. You need to give yourself that. It's too much if you're too rigid, and then if you are too flexible, you need to have a middle ground. And so after I made that adaptation, I was quite happy. Now I'll show you this book here, right? Before I went and bought it. Oh, okay. Ajua said she meant staying strong, stay strong, hold towards the end. Okay. So when my daughter was doing her teaching practice, she bought this book and I saw it and I'm like, oh, I like it. Let me do it and organize myself and all that. Another time we go into the mall, I think we were Christmas shopping and she was looking for, agendas and whatever. Lo and behold, I went and bought another one. Like I keep buying stuff because I like to write things down, right? So when this year started, I thought, okay, what I'll do now is that when I do my devotions, then I record it in here, or I thought it's just one-liners that come to me, I put it down because, like I say, I'm a faith-based writer. What I set out to do for my heart 3 years ago when I started writing was writing based on the word of God. So this is what it is. And then this here, I've been wondering why I've been feeling so scattered because, I was saying, Ajua, on your program, I was saying about being a procrastinator. Sometimes things that you should be doing, you don't do it. And you are sitting there, and yet when you get on it, you get it done. So just the writing down things, we are not a people taking so much to organizing ourselves. But I tell you, if you do, the benefits of it. Like I was saying on Ajua Odo's program on Saturday, that on Friday, which was New Year's, I didn't do anything because I was gallivanting around. So I wrote in my book, did not do anything. But then come the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, you see here, I'm working from home now. So these are my pens. Like I always have a red and black pen. Like if I'm discussing things with my supervisor, even on the phone or, like on our calls, and I want to write things down. And when I write red beside it, it jogs my mind that, oh, this is a task or something that I need to be getting on. So in the same way, like in this book here, it says, what do you say? That's the weekend anyway. It starts from here, meetings, deadlines. It gives you the day, daily work, personal work. So for Saturday, I sat down like the the beauty of a woman's heart. The book is done, but I hadn't put there's 5 sections to it, and the one day, I think on the 31st, I sat down and I wrote down all the titles, the subtitles in each section, and I did all 4 of them. And so there was just one left. So I completed that on Saturday. The trick is that a lot of times if you do something and you are not noting it down or finding a system of keeping yourself accountable, you won't know what you've done. So you're always running around feeling like you haven't done anything, and yet you are doing something. So I did that. I've done well for you. Okay, my bro, you too, come and join me. I know you are on it. And so I just started, like, putting down things that, what do you call it? Things that I did that day. And it just tells me, it gives me, it keeps me motivated to do more. And even like, be unapologetically you. Okay, I've done 2 chapters of it, but I thought, where is the introduction? So yesterday I sat down and I wrote a page, I think a page and a half introduction, and then all the topics, I did the chapters. So I'm like, it does not have to be, look, if you are waiting to do big things, you'll never get started. Be proud of the little things that you start doing, okay? And talking about procrastination, so yesterday, if my friend or my maid Dorothy is watching, just pardon me, okay? I'm somebody, I love books and I like to support my fellow authors. So this is a free book that I got. I'm sure Mr. Steniolos, I hope you never watch this video because you'll be surprised that I still haven't finished reading this book. But that is what I mean by you're so busy, you don't make time to sit down and do things you want to do. So I bought this book here. My schoolmate wrote it. She's in Ohio, and I bought it. I read up to page 21. I put it down. Yesterday, I found myself, I said, no, I'm going to be intentional. You know what I learned? Web Talk. I'm on Web Talk. That's also another thing. I mean, I won't say much, but all that I'll say about Web Talk is this, that to me, right, somebody made me aware of it, and I appreciate and I thank that person so much, because it's a different opportunity. In fact, there's some changes that are coming out, and even yesterday, I think the owner, the CEO, RJ Gabowitz, he put out a post, and somewhere I read, and that line really made my spirit happy. There's so many changes coming, but he was saying, he made that point particularly related to that, you can be on the Web Talk platform and nobody is going to censor you for talking about your beliefs. And I said, hallelujah. You see, because sometimes when we don't understand something, we give it a bad rap. And I'll have you know this, that, you know what, anything that you want to do in life, you have to work at it. Money just doesn't fall from heaven anymore. Manna doesn't fall from heaven. Sometimes I keep saying it, and then I read a piece in this book, and then I heard a man of God also say it yesterday, and I started laughing. I go, that's right. The Christianity that we've been fed is the wrong kind of Christianity. God wants you to work hard. It's not read the Bible, pray, harababa, and then sit down expecting everything to drop into your lap. You need to work at it. So for me, it's like what I was told and what I found out about it was long-term. It's not, it's like maybe it's drips and drops, this and that. But if you've invested in it, you've paid your 100 or your 200 or whatever it is, you look to the future and see. And I'm not somebody that I do something and give up on it. Look, it's been, I see that there are a lot of people that you even sharing with them, they've left and gone. So there's barely anybody in our groups, in our people. But I'm saying that we have to learn not to give up so easily on things. We have to learn. It's not easy. I'll digress into we always think everything is so easy, or we slam things that we don't understand. But if you do your homework, for me, it was a piece of cake because I was already writing, creating content, doing whatever. So it's not that hard. But if you don't know how to create content, and that is no fault of yours, but please, hold it right there. Let's be careful. But the reason why I brought up Web Talk is I'm so interested in learning from people. See, yesterday or whenever it was, thank you, Amajo. She says, miracles doesn't just happen. That miracle is you. Thank you. I was reading a gentleman's post, and he had put out his goals. And so he said something about trying to read a book every month. And I went, ding, 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 a light went on. I'm like, why am I stressing myself? I get it now, right? So I said to myself, like yesterday, I said I read 22 to 36 pages. Joy, you're making me laugh. He said, since many people do not want to work for anything but expect to receive from others, the government and extra, it's true. So it's true. Why start when one cannot finish? Exactly, because I'm stubborn that way. So I've come in, so why should I run away? Let me see. Take me to the end, and then if I see it didn't work, then I go, oh, I've been deceived. But so if I don't know, I'm not just going to walk away. Even as I talk, you are right, bang on. Even as I speak, the what do you call it? The app is going to be coming out shortly. It was supposed to be last week, but now they say this week. So the app is also coming out. So that will also draw people. You know, when they see new things, they like to get engaged and go see what it is. So, and if you have more options than Facebook, Facebook keeps censoring and this and that, right? So, Ebe Kakran will all disappear here and go and say our Nyamesum over there. So anyway, what I was saying is that especially living and seeing the reality in a foreign land. So yesterday I read, and I wrote it down. I read from page 22 to 36. And because I've been off for 2 weeks, in fact, I can't tell you that I've ever gone to bed before 12 midnight. I think I ended up going to bed 1 or 2 thereabouts. So yesterday I went to lay down earlier, 11. Of course, then it's taking me a long time to sleep, up and down, this and that. And I came and took this book, and I think I read about 10 pages of it. So these two are my January books. Let me show you these books that I have. So I bought these 2 books, the Shimmigrant and Same Elephant. Well, I finished the Shimmigrant, thankfully. This one here, I've still not finished, but now I'm in the middle. I'm not going to feel guilty. I'm going to, because I learned from that gentleman what he said in his post. I did my, what do you call it? Vision board in, what do you call it? OneNote, because it's easier for me, the tabs and all that. So I'm just going to read or look, I put it somewhere in my gallery. I'm just going to give an example. So yeah, like I have literary goals. It's about my writing. I have the live video goals, like what I'm going to be doing on the live videos. Business goals, finding new streams of income. Personal growth, right? Spiritual growth. This year, oh, I'm missing your comments. Hang on, let me read a few before we carry on. Amajo said they are waiting for miracles to happen. And then Miss Sage said, it takes focus and determination to write. It's a passion and a skill. I admire people who write for us to read, to enjoy. Kudos, Miss Sage. Thank you, Miss Sage. God bless you. Thank you. Encouragement is always good. And that is what another trait we need to learn to have as a people. So that I tell myself, say, like I'm somebody, I'll encourage you, blah, blah, blah. All I ever get in my life is people want to put you down. We need to do better. We need to do better. Yeah, Nana said we've seen a lot. And then Amajo is agreeing with message, bam. And Ajoa says, if many of us spend more time working on ourselves and having a sense of direction with realistic goals, hard work, plus other positive coping skills, then the world would be a better place. Yes, we wouldn't be struggling so hard, putting each other down and doing all kinds of things, right? So then the other ones were health, like there's family goals, health and wellness, financial, and then the book reads. So coming to this book reads, just the one thing, it's not that you don't know. Sometimes you don't even think of something, but then somebody else says, and you go, oh yeah, that. Let me try that. So like this year is a book, one of Gifty Auntie's book, but that one I like it because it's short and whatever. So I read it and I've been scribbling in my notes. So that one, it can keep me going all the time. There's this book too that I have bought while I'm only here, so I'll probably be doing it. Success is who you are. I'll probably be doing it in some of the other months. And of course, then Gifty Auntie's book, same here. So I've been feeling, I'll buy the books, but they'll just be sitting there. But now I'm making a conscious effort because You know, we have this joke that we say about our people that we don't like reading, so anything in a book will be hidden from us, right? Knowledge is important. We need to seek it. Even as I'm talking. That's not the only thing. This tablet or whatever it is here that I'm holding on to here. You won't believe the number of books that I've downloaded on there. More than 30, 40. Have I read them all? No. All because I did not have a plan. So now that I have a plan, it's like focus, read a little bit, do this, do that. Look, today, when I finished working, because I've started a new week, I said, okay, I need to plan out the week. At least it's not to be rigid. You just write it out what I think I can potentially do in a day. If you don't do it, you just move it forward to another day and do it, right? So even a course that I had, a free course that I got last year, I haven't even been paying attention to it. Today, after work, I was sitting here relaxing, watching something on TV. And then I listened to one lesson before, and it was talking about self-esteem. We all know about self-esteem. Sometimes we think we know things, but we need to listen and learn more. So I'm thinking, wow, I did something productive. I'm happy. I wrote it down. So I've written it down, that's something to do today. So I'll write down by it. Nanako says, I read how the West was won. I'm a student of history. They say it was not easy. Oh, wow. Yeah, I love history, but I'm more of a geography person too. Good for you. And then you say, all because when the students are ready, the teacher shall appear. It is true. The willingness to learn, the willingness, the humility, wanting to learn, right? But for me, even going back to that, this year, the most important goal that I have on my mind, because I find that, can you excuse me, please? Sorry about that, just some noise in my background. And so I said to myself, the most important goal for me is my spiritual goals. Like I said, I write based on the Bible. I'm a faith-based writer. So I said to myself, I have to go back to the basics, take myself seriously. Like when you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see a lot of the videos that I did 2-3 years ago, short verses from the Bible, and then I speak about it. I read something and whatever insights I get, I come and share it. So I thought to myself, you know something? There's not much you can do without God. That is where I started. And if I get back into my writing and I get back into my, my devotion, my seeking a deeper intimacy with God, that is what will help me grow. Anything else is just on the peripheries, it's just on the sides. Yeah. Then they will suffer the miracles forever because we are our own miracles doing self-work, etc. My dear sister Shaila Amajo Adams, look, the people, some of these churchgoers are worshiping mere humans using juju voodoo and other evil means because of follow. Thank you. Thank you. Even like coming to that, like this so yeah, I've been more serious. Like, when we first started Web Talk, it took up so much of your time. You get up, oh boom, 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 doing that. Now I say, you know what? God first, I'll do well. Now even it's not, they've changed how things are more. Now it's not more about liking, commenting, and sharing. The focus is on your engagement with the ads that are on the pages. So you get paid for that. So anyway, a few days ago, I think last week sometime, Pastor Oti, a dear pastor lady, had put something out on Facebook on her page about, hey, who wants to do reading the Bible in a year? And I'm like, So myself, some years ago, I bought the book, Reading the Bible in a Year. And I went through it. I don't think I quite finished. So for me, when I see something I'm excited, I jump in. And at the same time that I jumped in, I said, yes, count me in. I'm thinking, but how are you going to do this? This 4-5 chapters a day. And I was sitting in the kitchen there, bemoaning my fate. And then my oldest daughter said, Mom, don't you remember what did she say? Don't you remember the audio Bible? I'm like, oh yeah, right. And you know what? Since we started, like I think we've read through Genesis 1 to 11, and it only takes about 15 minutes to go through 4 or 5 chapters. And yet here I was. So if I had said no to the challenge, I know there isn't there a Richard Branson quote somewhere or somebody or other saying that if somebody gives you an opportunity, say yes first and figure yourself out later. Don't let it pass, right? So this morning I'm sitting down here and I thought, hang on a minute. So I'll do another show and tell. So this, since I knew how serious and dedicated I was going to be this year, when I went to the mall the other day, I told my daughter, I left her and my younger daughter, she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. I go to the dollar store and get all these little notebooks because I do a lot of writing or something will come up and I'll go, oh, maybe this book should be for that. And I thought, hang on a minute, you need to be serious. So we finished, we did 1 to 11 of Genesis. Now we've moved to Job. Job, I always like Job and Job this, and if I see it somewhere, in a devotional or something, I'll go read pieces of it, but I don't do the whole thing. Well, now today we did Job 1 to 5, and I took a book and I wrote whatever insights that I had, I wrote it down. And then, in fact, I thanked Pastor Oti. I left him and I said, thank you very much. I had an epiphany, an aha moment, because for me, I write based on the word. And so if listening, I'm a visual person, right? So before, when I was doing the Genesis, sometimes I'll be listening and then I'll be looking at the words. But today, for some reason, because I get distracted if I'm just listening, sometimes your mind will go off somewhere. So anyway, what happened is that today listening, I felt all right. I'm like, oh wow, I've made the switch to being what's the word? I don't remember it. Anyway, so I wrote down my insights and I thought I'm learning. At the same time too, it can help me in some of my writing. So you see, oh, Nanako says some of us have a fear of success because if no success, there's failure deduction. And then what? Please don't go to the religion zone, because many followers are prisoners in their body and mind due to deceptive, deadly devotion, giving their souls to the devil. No, I draw though. I'm. Amajo says you've selected best color notebooks. Yeah, I like colors, so you have to, yeah, I get you. So Amajo, Ajodo, I deal with practical Christianity, not this hypocrisy things or sitting there thinking that, look, the Bible tells us you have to work hard. God blesses the work. You're not going to get anything other than what God has given you. It's inside you, so you have to bring it out. So for me, I say I love the word of God. So this year, my going there, this is not about people. It's not even about them. It's about me and what I love to do. And you have to also remember that when you write books, a lot of times it's not your own people necessarily who are going to support you. There's people out there who will read it and they understand. I always make this comment that the white people brought Nyamesum to us and we think we know more than them, but they are more practical than we are, okay? We are more practical about it, like the things that we say we are Christians, but if you want money from somebody, you need help, the person has it, they can help you. So you suffer. But in these churches, if there's a need, oh, come on. So I understand what you're saying completely, but I don't live my life by those standards because I'm not writing something that will put you in further bondage. No. I'm not writing something that will put you in further bondage or say Nyamesum holy hypocrisy. No, we have to be real. We have to be real. Like, if I tell you that, sometimes when you see things that people write, I'm not into the theology, For me, it's the basics, like what is my understanding? How am I understanding it? And if I'm trying to even say something to somebody who doesn't know God or is seeking something, the words that you speak will do something to their heart, help them to even start to think or make a decision. But if you make it so cut and dried and Frenchima, it gets lost in translation. There's a big wall, brick wall. Ghanaians or Bibini don't like to reward those who sacrifice attention span. Yama says we copy blindly without learning. So yeah, those are some of my insights. So for me, it's like at the stage of life that a human being is at, you have to learn to live for yourself. And people will tell you selfishness. No, you have to know who you are, what direction you want, what are your goals, what are your aspirations, how do you feel about yourself as a person? Like me, why am I talking about change? You know, change is making a change, is replacing or substituting something. I'm just saying that you can't just make drastic changes. People can't handle drastic changes. So you do little, kakra, kakra, right? Yeah. So we are talking about having a vision for the year. A lot happened last year. Have you sat down and thought, what went right? What didn't go right? What can I do better? Right? Did you accomplish all your goals? Like me, I said, I was happy to focus and try to get my book out there, but I was getting lost in not writing. So right now, I'm going to have somebody do that for me, so that I can focus. Because if I keep doing this, in 4 years' time, I'll be sitting there doing book publicity and not writing. And the thing about us is sometimes when we are taking money to do things, it hurts us, it chokes us. But these days, look, even my mother, when I was sitting bemoaning my fate and whatever, she goes, oh yeah, there's Ghost Rice. An old lady of 86, she's sitting in Ghana. When I was talking, she knew what I was talking about. She said, yeah, there's things you can have people do for you. So anyway, if you didn't achieve or accomplish all your goals, what are you going to do about it? Is it something that you want to just drop, or do you want to retweak it and continue? You have to figure it out. So, and then, like I said, I learned a lot of lessons this year, in terms of public working on the publicity of my book with Amma, marketing challenges, we did author chats, we did lives, discovered different aspects of social media. It's a good lesson. I won't stop. Look, there's YouTube. There's a lot that you can learn. So I'm somebody that I like to learn. If I don't know me, I can try it 10 times. How many times do I have to ask my girls for something? But yeah, they'll be frustrated, but they will help you. So, but I want to write. So that's what I'm focusing on. So, I came to the decision, like I said, let me do the writing. Yeah, let me do the writing. And that's what I'm doing. So I've said a lot, actually. I think I wrote notes down, but I was talking and I have covered everything. Yep. So, it's like I said, you need to have fun. If you are passionate about something, you need to have fun doing it. You need to have fun doing it. And it's not like nobody is going to come to me and tell me what to do. I'm too old for that. I don't need to be bossed around by anybody. Like, I have my own mind. So if I'm doing something, this is what I want to do, that's what I'm going to do, because it makes me happy. I get joy out of it. And so, it's like, for me, my most favorite thing is the Bible. Like, and what Nanako says, he's still on, when he talked about history. For me, anytime November 11th comes, I get very emotional, especially during the wartime. These old people who went to war, and what is their story and this and that, right? So storytelling is a big thing for me. What did they go through? Even when I hear that, I think now most of the people who fought in the First World War have died. Even the Second World War, most of them are gone now. Even the Korean War in the 50s, they are getting older. And then you see we are raising these kids. Some of them are so self-centered, so self-absorbed. They don't know how these freedoms were arrived at. Like me, every November 11th, even if I'm sleeping, whatever, I'll get up and I'll come and watch the what do you call it? The program in Ottawa, and the last post, the 11th hour, the clock, everything, because it reminds me, it keeps me grounded. And then I have a picture of my dad in my living room here, and I look at it and I go, hey, this man, because of you now there's 9 people in this country here. Eh? So, and the thing about it is that, you know, compared to where we are from and all that is going on. So for me, you have to appreciate the freedoms that you have. You have to appreciate the freedoms that you have. Yes, Ama Adwa Odo says, sadly for many years, and that's such a shame, Sister Sharla, Joe Adamson, copycats in Kwan with ambitions, negativities, and pull down syndromes. Shaking my head. Adwa Odo, yeah, say media, will we ever finish even talking about it? So she says, Adwa Odo men say, yeah, that's what we do best, our way of Christianity. Yeah, it's, no, like I said, I go back to even I'm saying it to add to Adjoa's point that she made to me about don't go into that zone. I've been in our church environments for quite a number of years, and I've reached the stage in my life that I said, you know what? I have a Bible. I can read it. If I don't understand it, I'll find a commentary, read what it means, or ask somebody who knows. But I'm not letting anybody bully me with our type of Christianity ever again. It's not going to happen because there's no liberty in it. God gave us wisdom. Use it. Advise yourself and use it. Nanako says, for some reason, I have not seen or touched a Ghanaian book in over 30 years in America. I've seen South African book, the way they market. Amajo says she enjoys watching. Yeah, you know, because it's people who stand for something, they've done something, and they are, you know, it's because of them that we're enjoying what we're enjoying right now. Nobody is going to come and kill you for speaking the truth or speaking up. Look right now, Amajo, you see what is going on? That they told us lockdown, and then our politicians are traipsing around all across Canada. It's coming out that these politicians went on holiday, so some are having to resign their posts. It is that quick. So when the system works, this is what happens. So anyway, unless anybody has any other comments, I just came to share that, you know, like the other comment that I'll add, because I read it from Mr. Senyo's book too, and it's out there anyway. You can't achieve success without discipline. That's why I'm disciplining myself, that my goal is to do my writing. So I need to be writing down what I'm doing so that it keeps me grounded to keep pushing. Yes, so you have to enjoy what you are doing. Look at the scenario in which we are. For those of us who've had to be working at home, you are stuck at home, you go out and do errands or whatever. You have to have something to keep you going. When you get bored, watch a movie, do this, do that, anything, any hobby or whatever you have. So I just came to encourage somebody that, you know, Amajo, I'm using your words again. Don't just drift through life. Set goals for yourselves, write them down. And if you are not meeting them, don't hurt yourself or don't beat yourself over the head about it. No, that's not what we're doing. Challenge yourself to do better. And you know what? Be careful also of who is speaking into your life. Be careful of who's speaking into your life. If you are a grounded person and you are a visionary, you want to do things, you know where to find those things. Look for good material to listen to, read, good, not, you know, go to places where insults are 1,001 and this and that, right? So yeah, we'll see what happens. But so far I feel hopeful because I've stopped dilly-dallying around. I'm disciplining myself more, and I'm hoping that I won't be procrastinating as much. So I thank you for which one? The procrastinating or goals? Thank you guys for coming to listen. I hope that this was helpful to somebody, or at least I enjoyed reading your comments and, you know, your participation. Miss Sage, Nanako say, Ajodo. Who am I missing? Sharla. Okay. I feel like if someone writes a book about the mindsets and habits of most people in our society communities, there will be a lot of laughter, sadness, pity, mockery, and so forth. 2021 and 21st century, nothing is changing because of. Oh, Ajwa, mystery. Ajwa. Now, even if you write a Ukrapona, are they going to read it? Are we people who want to change? Do we want to even pursue it, let alone embrace it? Thank you. You know, it's true. It's very. But you know something, Ajua, I do see your point. I agree with you because for the sake of the younger generation, like when I started, I was talking about my book that, oh, I wanted to write a book. So nobody told me about the marketing side of it. So if I was to write a book about that, I would say how not to write a book. So for the sake of the younger generation, it would be helpful to have some of these things in a book, you know, the cultural mindsets and how to change it because it's very limiting. It's very limiting. Yeah. Yeah. So someone have to teach them because, you know, I gave the example of the gentleman in the class who was making the comment that, you know, people that he deals with, they operate in three spheres from home to work and to church. And it's all the Ghanaian community. They don't have any relationships outside, even to benefit from or learn something from somebody else. So we've transplanted ourselves here, but we are not, you know, adapting or engaging in the wider society. So that too is a pitfall and one of our downfalls. Thank you so much. So we'll see you on, anyway, like I said, I don't know if I'll be back this week. Like I said, I'm focusing more, I'm going back to my basics of picking up my faith. So if I write up something, maybe you'll see me this week, later in the week. If not, maybe next week. But take care and have a good year. And I wish you all the best. And, you know, don't give up. Believe in yourself. Ajwa, sabotaging, lies, insults, manipulation, brainwash, bullying, or taking advantage of poor, vulnerable people, stealing. Yes, yes. And it's still going on. So, you know, for me, it's like, I stay away. Yeah, I stay away. Thank you. God bless you. Have a great night. Take care, okay? Bye bye.